Hello everyone, welcome to the second half of your new Teacher ELA training. So this half will cover instruction and assessments. Again, this is just an overview, so if you have more questions, don't hesitate to contact me, your grade level colleagues, perhaps your principals, in some instances Denise Hahn if it has to do with pathways, etc. Okay, so in regard to instruction, there are three instructional tools or approaches I want to share with you that are mandated in our district. So the first is Pathways, kindergarten through second grade. This is our phonics and phonemic awareness program. It also covers sight words. So I am going to defer to Denise Hahn as far as getting information to you on this. I'm guessing that if you are a K1 or 2 teacher, you will be attending her Pathways training, which is July 18th, 19th, and 20th, and 23rd and 24th. And you'll find out everything you need to know at that point. Denise is phenomenal and great to work with. Just reach out to her if you have questions. So 3rd through 6th, continuing on with phonics instruction along with vocabulary and spelling. We take a word study approach after Pathways. We take a word study approach in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. We piloted Words Their Way last year and have adopted it for the 18-19 school year. It is not just a spelling program, it is a word study program. So if you've used spelling programs in the past, know that this approach is going to be a little bit different and might take a little bit of adjustment for you. I believe you guys are aware of the digital professional development that you have to do for Words Their Way. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. Just a reminder that Words Their Way will be implemented in Tier 1 instruction in 3rd and 4th grade and as an intervention in 5th and 6th grade. If you can find any way to put it into your Tier 1 instruction in 5th and 6th grade, that's awesome. Go for it. Okay, kindergarten through 8th grade in our district, we have the workshop model. If you haven't ever covered the workshop model or used the workshop model before, it follows a basic structure of mini lesson, work time, which includes independent reading, conferring, strategy groups, and guided reading, and then a reflection time at the end. The idea is that kids are engaged in authentic reading, writing, speaking, listening, instruction, and learning the majority of the time. So the majority of the time the kids are doing the work and you're supporting them with that work through different structures, again, such as conferring and small group instruction. So the mini lesson structure, most of you will likely just have about an hour-ish for your reading workshop time. So the mini lessons, the mini lesson that you do should take anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes, not longer than 15 minutes if you can help it, because the majority of the time, again, your kids need to be spending in text doing the real work of readers and writers. So you will want to read over this document. This gives you the structure just for that mini lesson component, just for the first 10 to 15 minutes of your reading workshop time. So basically there's a connection. In that connection, that lasts like 30 seconds to a minute. Again, read over this, but I'm going to hit the highlights for each section. In the connection, you're stating your learning target. So one small piece of information that you're teaching that day, such as, I can find evidence to support my inference. And then you're going to tell them the why of why you're going to do that. Could be that inferring is a skill that we need in order to understand the text. Your why could be that you've noticed that a lot of kids are struggling with this, something of that nature. Again, that's 30 seconds to a minute. Next is the teach. Obviously, this is going to be where you teach. The majority of their time, you're going to be demonstrating. There are other structures you can use within this teach time, but most of the time you're going to be demonstrating the thinking that readers and writers in writing workshop do during this time. It's important to think aloud and let students hear the thinking that real readers do as they're trying to navigate a text. So don't just tell them to find main idea. Show them your thinking. Tell them your thinking. And along with that, teach a strategy. That's where the Reading Strategies book and the Writing Strategies book by Jennifer Saravallo. If you haven't got your hands on those books, definitely talk to your principal to see if you can, because they are immensely helpful, and you'll find a lot of those strategies within the units of instruction that we have. So you'll teach during that part. That's going to take 10 minutes-ish, couple minutes for the have a go. So basically, this could be where you incorporate some cooperative learning, such as Rally Robin, something super fast. So Rally Robin is basically a structured turn and talk time where they talk about the strategy, they talk about an answer, things like that. It could be that they also are practicing the standard or the learning target that you just gave to them in a short paragraph or a short text. And then finally is the reflect or the link at the end. It's about a minute. You're restating the what and the why, and you're tying this to the work they do as independent learners. So definitely read through that. This document is going to be very, very helpful for you. One of the key components of the workshop structure is keeping your mini lesson mini. Okay, so let's see. Next is conferring in strategy groups. I am at 7 minutes of my 15 minutes, and I don't want to make you listen to another video. So if it seems like I'm going kind of fast through this, that's why. So definitely take a look at this document, types of conferences. When you confer with kids, which is one-on-one coaching, teaching, instruction you do with kids, there are 3 different structures that you could use. One is complement conferences, which is super quick, like 30 seconds to a minute, where you want to reinforce strengths, develop habits and routines, such as maybe they're doing a great job with stamina, or when you're just having a bad day and you just need to focus on some positives, you might do some complement conferences. So basically the structure is you'll want to pay attention to this column here. You're going to research, which basically just means observe them reading, look at any journals that they have, ask questions about their thinking, and then give them a compliment, which includes what you're complimenting, why, and an example. Coaching conference, you use this after you've learned the needs of your kids, and you go into that conference knowing what strategy you're going to teach because you've met with that student before and you know what strategy they need. So with this one, you're going to go in and immediately teach, model it quickly, give them the opportunity to practice that strategy in front of you and coach them through that strategy, and then link it to their independent work. And then finally is the Research, Decide, Teach conference. That's when you may not know exactly what you're going in coaching. Maybe they've already met a goal and you need to determine a new goal for them. You're going to go in and research, which again, same thing as a complement conferences, ask questions, have students read aloud, etc. If you can, in the moment, decide what to teach, go ahead and teach it, let them practice and tie it to their independent work. Now, at the beginning of the year, this really turns into just a research conference. So during your launch unit, you should be meeting with every single one of your kids and having just a research conference where you're listening to them read, you're talking about what they like to read, looking for strengths and opportunities for growth, and taking notes on that, which will then set up what you work with them throughout the next unit. So there are videos that go along with each one of these. Please watch those videos They are videos modeled by Jennifer Saravallo, so they're very high quality videos that will show you what these conferences look like. Okay, one tool you might want to refer to on this document, hold on one second, is, sorry about the scrolling. So this page right here, it's page 3 of Saravallo's book. When you go into a conference, this is kind of the hierarchy that you're looking for. So emergent reading, obviously that applies to primary grade levels. Definitely look for that. But next, no matter what the grade level, you want to look to see if they are an engaged reader. If they're not, you need to address that first before you address a lot of academic stuff. Because if they're not engaged, they're not going to appropriately apply any strategy that you give them. Then you look for phonics issues, decoding issues, and fluency, and then comprehension, vocabulary, and conversation and writing about reading. So your questions will kind of be along this hierarchy, and that's what you'll be looking for as you do those research conferences at the beginning of the year. This video right here is an example of a strategy group. If you have kids that have a common goal, for example, vocabulary, and you want to give them a common strategy, you can teach them all at once, so you don't have to teach it to 5 different kids. That gives you an example of what that looks like. I would highly suggest, I'm almost at 12 minutes, that's why I'm going kind of fast. Highly suggest you use this document when planning out your week. This will help you make sure you get to all students. Our goal is to try to get to all students in some format by the end of the week, either in a strategy group, a conference, or a guided reading group. Now, that may be hard at the beginning of the year, honestly. For the first unit or 2, you might try to plan to get to every student within 2 weeks. And then as you get better at this, try to get to every student in some way, whether it be one of these, by the end of the week. Reflection time. Real quickly, read over this document, guys. That's the last 5 minutes or so of your reading workshop time. Don't skip it. A lot of teachers, they're very honest and they admit they skip it. Don't skip it. It's a great follow-up to or wrap up to your workshop work for that day. So this at the top gives you reasons why you shouldn't skip that reflection time. At the bottom, some structures you can use for that 5-minute reflection time as a class. So read over that document. Couple of documents here to read over for reflection time to help you understand it better. I was going to give you time during your training day to peruse your launch document. You'll definitely want to take a look at that because that's the first unit you'll be teaching. Okay, assessments. So really quick, assessments, K through 2 pathways assessments. Denise Hahn will talk to you about that. NWEA, that's our district benchmark assessment. Principals or your grade level colleagues will talk to you about that. You'll learn about Words Their Way assessment when you do the digital professional development. And the fluency requirements for the district for 3rd through 5th grade, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade for sure. Maybe 6th grade. We'll let you know 6th grade if we're going to add you to this or not. Read over this document. Ask your grade level colleagues about how to administer this. I would walk through it now, guys, but not just because I'm short on time, but because you'll forget a lot of it before September comes. I'd rather you just talk to your colleagues when September gets closer. But you have to give a fluency benchmark in September and January, and it's recorded on the grade card in 1st and 3rd quarter. Tells you how to mark it on the grade card, etc. That was super fast, guys, but talk to your grade level colleagues about that. I have about 15 seconds. Guys, thanks for your time. Let me know if you have any questions. Seriously, even during my maternity leave, feel free to contact me at any point. Thank you.